Okay, so how do you code from an op report? Any tips? Okay, so what I did is I went out and I just Googled sample op reports. I've had a lot of feedback after these webinars, and quite a few of you commented how you really liked me showing how I look up things and figure things out. So I'm going to try and be conscious of that more and share with you how I found things so you can kind of be your own little detective here. But I mean, I ask my family, anytime they have a question, I go Google it. And my niece, who's 14, when she visits me, she'll ask me something. I'll say, Google it. And I got her a smartphone, so I know she has the ability to do it. She's like, that's how I'm going to raise my kids. I'm just going to tell them to Google everything. But here I found a PDF, sample op reports. So there's tons of them out there, and you can use them to, practice coding. I mean, obviously, I don't have coding answers, but I say that, and this first one I found actually did. Is that showing up okay, Boyd?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So this is just right out there on Google, and I just pulled it up. It's designed to help transcriptionists understand how to lay out op reports and how to format them and things like that. So this is typically what you would see in an op report. The patient's name, all the identifiers, date, etc. For coders, these are the 3 lines that are really what we want to key in on initially. So from a procedure standpoint, you jump right to the procedure line, bilateral upper lid blepharoplasty. They actually misspelled it. And you will not find this on the exam, of course, where they give you the suggested CPT code. But basically, this is what you start with. And there's all of this long, long, long op report. And yes, you should read it, but always start with the procedure. Look up the code or codes, and you'll probably find several. And you want to look at the difference, between those codes. And in this case, it says bilateral. But if it didn't say bilateral, and it just said blepharoplasty, and there's several codes for upper lid, lower lid, you would have to go abstract that information from the body of the report. But start with the codes to see what information you need to pick the correct code. And this is a great question because for those that haven't taken the board exam yet, that's how you really should attack surgery questions, is you want to look at the answers first. Don't read the whole op report. You don't have time. There's just not enough time. There's 5 hours and 40 minutes for 150 questions. You can't read the op report, then go look up the codes, and then end up reading the op report again. You need to know the differences between the answers so you know what to pull out from the report. Are you looking for unilateral versus bilateral? Are you looking for upper versus lower? Okay, so that's how I attack an op report. And then, of course, you do the same with the diagnoses. What you're coding for is the post-operative diagnosis. And you want to be careful sometimes because sometimes the preoperative diagnosis sounds the same as the postoperative, but you want to code whatever they say the postoperative one is. In this case, it happens to be the same thing. So that is how I would